always get everything that I want, and this is exactly how I do it. So I used to believe that the world was against me, that I can't trust myself, and that everything that I'm set out to do was impossible. And now I have lucky girl syndrome. I can do everything that I put my mind to, and I trust myself to be able to follow through with that. Not only do I believe that, I know that. You're not unlucky. Your nervous system is just in survival mode. Your dreams and desires aren't far away. You just put them on a pedestal. So circling back to the word confidence that I mentioned earlier, let's talk about what the word confidence actually means. So confidence, confidence. So con, that means with, and fidence means to trust. So with trust. So when you do things with trust, that's exactly the epitome of I'm doing it and I trust that this is gonna work out. Now with trust, that can be trust with yourself. And I believe personally that having trust with a higher power makes it so much easier to stick to that because you're doing it for more than yourself. When you do everything with trust, the gears start turning. Having confidence is way more than obviously like the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you present yourself. While those things are very important and the way that you present yourself is exactly what comes back, it's so much deeper than that. Having confidence in your actions, having confidence in your habits. Having confidence is embodying the person that you want to be because you trust that working through that, it's gonna actually end up manifesting it into real life, which is exactly how it works because the way you think changes your actions become habits, and your habits become your lifestyle. So micro habits that reinforce this new identity. Do it with confidence, do it with trust that it's working out exactly how it's supposed to. Because it's impossible to go wrong. I'm gonna be so honest, it's impossible to fail in life because everything is just redirecting you into the area that you're supposed to be that's ultimately gonna lead to your inevitable success. Editing Simone here. I just wanted to add real quick that also when you realize that everything in life is temporary and that everything was from dust to dust, that everything isn't like on a pedestal anymore and that everything seems like neutral. I know I talked about this in the video, but when you realize that like the only true fruit is the fruit of your soul and everything else here is temporary, then your life here is gonna be so much better because you're focused on what's underneath. You're focused on your soul and what's going on with your soul. That's gonna make your life better because what's going on inside comes out. We're gonna keep talking about that part in a second, but also something that I find very important is having confidence to ask. Now, ask and you shall receive, okay? If you're at a restaurant and you need ketchup with your fries and you don't ask for it, then it's not gonna show up, okay? The waiter can't read your mind, okay? So when you want something, have the confidence to ask for it, okay? Because that's the first thing. If you can't get that done, if you can't ask God, ask the universe, ask the waiter for ketchup, then how are you supposed to get the ball turning? Ask God, God, please give me this. God, please give me strength. Universe, please provide with abundance for whatever you need. Ask and you shall receive. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is detachment and having pedestals. The reason that things that you're trying to achieve and the goals that you're trying to make true feel so far away is because you put them far away. You put them on a pedestal. You see yourself here and you see the things that you're trying to achieve right about, just higher than you. And when you look at life from subjective matter, okay, this bag and my sweater, they're, obviously they're different. I can't put this on my body, but everything is like subjective. Everything, the value of this is not the same as the value of this to me. This is more valuable to me because I'm wearing it. Trust me, this is all gonna tie back together. But everything is subjective. And if you think that the things that you're trying to achieve are way out of your reach, then that's the dynamic that you're putting into place, okay? A penny in this universe is worth the same amount as $1 million. Now worth, that's a little bit hard to get into, but subjectively, it's all just matter. Look at it as all matter, okay? A penny you pick up on the side of the street and a mountain. Now, it's so hard to explain. It's kind of hard to explain, but look at it like this. God made everything. God made everything in its perfect way, in the most amazing way possible. Now, for you to compare everything and say that this is out of my reach, this is in my reach, it's imbalanced. It's imbalanced. Okay, everything is balanced. And you just gotta match the frequency. If your frequency is on the penny and you think, okay, a penny isn't worth anything, $1 million is worth something. If you can't appreciate, first of all, appreciation. If you can't appreciate your cup of coffee in the morning, how do you think you're gonna get the business that you're wanting to have? How do you think you're gonna be able to appreciate the abundance that's coming in your life? Now, gratitude brings me everything. Everything comes from gratitude for me. I'm grateful for this sweater, and there's more amazing sweaters that I'm gonna love to come. I love my phone, and I'm gonna make so many great videos with it, and like, look at everything with gratitude. Okay, that's probably my number one tip, is gratitude is the best attitude. Wake up every day with gratitude, because especially when you first wake up. Because when you first wake up, your subconscious mind is malleable, okay? If the first thing you're pouring into your face when you're waking up is just scrolling and stuff like that, your dopamine receptors for the next day is gonna be cooked. Okay, wake up with gratitude. Think about things you're grateful for, and those things are just gonna keep coming in, okay? I went to the dollar store, and I was getting myself a Monster Energy for my shift. And I was like, God, thank you for this Monster Energy. This is gonna help me throughout my shift. And I was checking out, and the guy was like, do you want a Red Bull? I was like, a Red Bull? He went out to the back and brought me a free Red Bull. I mean, when you're grateful for things, even my cup of coffee in the morning, that cup of coffee that I'm grateful for sets the wheels into motion for so much more things that I'm grateful for throughout the day. Now, detachment, calm expectation. Okay, detachment is, this is mine, I need to hold on to it, I can't let it go. That comes from a place of lack, okay? When you're coming from a place of lack, of I need this, I can't survive without this, then obviously it's gonna slip through my fingers, because the universe, okay, if you think I need this, you're coming from a place of want, coming from a place of like urgency, like, you don't need to be all that. You don't need to be doing all that genuinely, because God isn't on a budget. God isn't on a budget. Look at this world. You think God's on a budget? You think God's saying, oh, I'm gonna be a little tedious, I'm just gonna give this person a little bit, I gotta hold on to some. No, we're not thinking from that place. Absolutely not. Let go from this place of urgency of I need this, and holding on to things for as tight as you can, and thinking that doing hard, dirty work is gonna get you what you need to do. I heard this analogy. Okay, let the bowl soak. All right, so you have a bowl and you were cooking in it, and there's a whole bunch of sticky paste that dried up. I heard this on what's her name? Some YouTube girl, she's sweet. You think, okay, I need to get in there, I need to scrub it and get it out, and it's not budging, okay? You know what you gotta do? Put some water in it, leave it aside, let it soak, look at it a few hours, it's gonna be completely malleable, it's gonna be able to come off so easily. That's coming from your feminine energy, which is, goodness gracious, don't even get me started. Being in your feminine energy will bring things in, especially for the ladies watching. Obviously, I think men should get into their feminine energy too sometimes, because sometimes people think that like, oh, I'm only able to deserve the things that I want to get if I white knuckle it. I don't think that's exactly how we're designed. Obviously, some things, you gotta thug it out, but when you let it soak, okay, let me give another example. My pimple. I have a pimple on my face here, okay? In some circumstances, I would be like, okay, this has to go. So I'm gonna squeeze at it, I'm gonna pop it, and then you know what? It's gonna get inflamed and it's gonna come back a few days later. That's not what I did, okay? Obviously, it's still kind of there, but what I did the past few days was put a pimple patch on it, left it alone, and it's slowly going away, and it's not gonna leave scarring, it's not more inflamed, and I'm not getting my dirty finger bacteria all over it. Let the bowl soak. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is purging. So how are you going to expect new, beautiful things to come into your life if there's no space for it? So that implies like everything. So if you're wanting a new wardrobe and you're manifesting a new wardrobe, wow, I want to wear this, I want to wear this. How are you going to have space for that new wardrobe when it's full to the brim? Now, I am guilty of this. Goodness gracious. And half of those things I don't even wear. So I'm gonna take action. Nothing happens without action. Make space for the new things coming into your life, okay? The backpacks that you're carrying in your head, the bricks that are in your backpack, those things, you can't expect to make space for flowers in your backpack when you're carrying bricks everywhere you go, okay? Make space. If you're expecting or trying to manifest a partner into your life, how are you gonna be able to bring that into your life if the environment that you're in doesn't reflect that, okay? I heard this one story about a woman in the book The Secret. She was wanting to bring a love interest into her life, and the person she was talking to says, look around at your environment. Does that reflect what you want to have? So you know what she did? She started sleeping on one side of her bed to leave space for a partner. She cleaned up her dresser to leave space for her partner to put clothes in it. And soon enough, when she started acting like that and making space for the things she wants to come in, soon enough, she found her husband. Okay? And I'm, 2026, new chapter, and, everybody here, you have your resolutions, you're planning your vision boards, which I love vision boards. They're so fun. But when trying to bring new things into your life, you heavily need to consider the things that you need to get rid of. Now, if you're wanting to bring in better habits with eating and trying to eat better foods, okay? Keep less of the foods that trigger you to make bad nutritional decisions. If you're wanting to get some new makeup into your life, get rid of the old expired ones that you don't even use anymore. Not only does this make physical space and mental space, but you're actually letting your old identity die, okay? With that old makeup you're throwing away, that version of you that wore it is gone. Those clothes that you wore in middle school, that I'm sure I have clothes from middle school in there somewhere, but when you're getting rid of those things, you're letting that identity go away. When you're getting rid of the backpacks, the bricks in your backpack in your head, you're letting that die, okay? And it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that all this stuff is easy, but make space for new things to come. It's that easy. Simple, not easy. Now, opening your heart to these new things that are coming in. All right, so you purged, you got rid of things, you got rid of bricks in your backpack. Now you have to open up your heart to these things that you want to come in. I was bike riding the other day, okay? And I was just listening to Daniel Caesar's new album, The Sun Was Shining, and I don't know, I just felt a switch in me for a second where I decided right then in that moment that I'm gonna let these walls of fear down and I'm just gonna allow things to come into my life. And yeah, it sounds kind of crazy, like I'm just gonna decide, but you would be surprised. You would be surprised to the things that would come into your life when you just make that mental note. Not even a mental switch. Sometimes you just have to make a mental note and just put up the intention of things are coming in because I'm letting these walls down. Now, I didn't think too much of it, but you notice that with your thoughts that you allow into your head, okay, they make actions. Like I said earlier, thoughts make actions, make habits, make lifestyle. So, journaling. I love journaling, okay? So, thinking as the person you want to become. When you, first of all, yeah, like I said, let down these walls, make the intention of I'm opening my heart, I'm letting down these walls, and I'm making space. When you allow that first, journal on it, okay? Well, I can give you some prompts actually, what would the version of me that I want to become do today? Start with that prompt. And easy as that, just write down a couple of things that you might do, and it's gonna feel awkward at first, okay? If you've been on the couch these past 2 weeks in a rut and you decide, okay, today I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna read a book, it feels out of character. But that's the character you want to become, okay? It's gonna be a little uncomfortable, but you don't have to do big switches, okay? It's the atomic things. Even if it's a walk for 10 minutes, even if it's floor Pilates 10-minute YouTube video, even if it's one chapter, these little things add up, and with action comes momentum, comes new habits that are being built. And with everything that you do it from a place of love rather than fear. I used to have a problem with this. I would do things, I would dress up, I would take actions out of fear of the things that I don't want rather than the love for the things that I do want, okay? When my boyfriend Len and I first started talking, I was a little nervous, okay? I was confident, I was taking care of myself, I was, but some of the things I did, some of my actions, even the ways I would dress, was coming from a place of, I hope he likes me. But instead, I'm going from a place of, I'm gonna be myself, and if this is what's right for me, then I love it. I love it. When you're writing, when you're drawing, don't do it from a place of, oh, I need to get this done. Do it for the place of a love for your work. Even if you don't like your class exactly, when you do things out of a place of love where, you know what, I may not love this class, but I love myself and I love the fact that I'm growing, you're gonna get better grades. You're gonna get better grades. Ooh, it's kind of hot in here, but I love my quarter zip. Do I look like a performative male with a matcha? All right, next thing we're gonna talk about is relaxing your nervous system. Okay, I'm guilty of this again. Okay, I'm a hypocrite. I do say the things I talk about. I do sometimes struggle with having anxiety or being overstimulated and stuff like that. But relaxing my nervous system has really helped with getting things into my life that I want to happen. When you're working from a place of fight or flight, it blocks your intuition. It blocks your logical. Okay, like I was at work one time and I was having a hard time with some customers. They weren't being very nice to me. So you know what? I went to the bathroom, I took some deep breaths, and I was like, all right, Simone, you're just at work. You're safe. Do everything from love, okay? Be confident. You know, the things that I've been telling you right now. And after that, I was able to look at it from a completely subjective point of view. Okay, these people, they probably just had a bad day and they're putting it out on a 17-year-old girl. It's none of my business. So what if it has nothing to do with me. It's all them. So when I went from a place of fight or flight and literally like your body can't tell the difference sometimes between being chased by a bear and some customer yelling at you. Okay, it's a little difficult sometimes. I understand that completely. But when you're reminding yourself like, okay, this is just life. You're safe, you're chilling, I'm in my bedroom filming a video, and yeah, when I first started, I was a little bit nervous. I'm sweating a little bit, but here I am, you know? You are safe. Feeling safe in your body and in your mind makes it so much easier for things to come into your life. I regulate my nervous system with breath work, with meditating, with reflecting, like I said, journaling. When you regulate your nervous system, it makes things so much easier to come in. And that starts with, like I said, your soul, your heart, but also your environment, okay? If you're trying to feel calm, how are you gonna do that when your room is a mess, okay? You're gonna be, you know, your environment reflects what's going on in your head. And yes, sometimes it's hard to change what's going on in your head first, but you can get up and you can clean your room, and it'll make you feel better. I know it's like common sense, like drink water, you'll feel better, clean your room, you'll feel better, but it's true. I don't mean to throw some cliche stuff at you, but it's actually true. Calm is clarity, and clarity is aligned action. Now, something that I'm also really wanting to talk about is failure. All right, I know this whole video is how I get everything I want, but failure, it happens to everyone, but I don't think failure is the way that it's set out to be, okay? Failure is not failing. Failing is redirection. All right, so this past week I've been sick and staying home from work. This is my thoughts. I'm not gonna be able to afford Christmas presents. Everybody's getting a hug for Christmas. I can't work this past week. It's over. Now, that's what I was thinking at first. But this quote unquote failure of not being able to go to work this past week actually gave me time and space to take action with something I've been needing to do for a while. I've had like an old table, an old iPad that I've been needing to get rid of. And I was like, okay, I need some quick money so I can afford Christmas presents. And while it may have seemed like failure to not be able to go to work, I was able to get rid of things that I didn't need anymore. And now I'm able to have the funds to make Christmas presents for the people I love, or pretend like the beginning of my fitness journey. I failed so many times, okay? I failed my nutrition plans, my gym schedule, okay? But it's from these failures that led me to who I am today. I'm so glad I fell over so many times, because getting back up and learning from that made me who I am today, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Nothing is ever going wrong. Everything is just rearranging. Everything that you think you wouldn't get over in the past made you who you are today, and you're over it now. Like things that I used to stress about 5 years ago, I thought I would never get over, but here I am now, and I'm so glad that they happened, because here I am today and I'm thriving. Redirection is also protection. Like pretend you get rejected from that job. That job you would have been miserable at, okay? Think of it that way, because everything is working out in your favor. Okay, say this right now. Everything is working out in my favor. everything in my life is perfect, magic, and easy. All right, so these are my tips for getting everything that I want, and I hope that you benefited from this, and I strongly encourage you to at least take one step today on putting into action these things that I've told you. So either going for that walk and listening to that podcast, or just a silent walk, you know, doing a journal entry about the prompt I was telling you about earlier. You know, meditate, breath work. And overall, just having that intention every day. You know, I say this to myself constantly. Everything's working out in the best possible way, okay? You literally can't lose. You can't lose in this life. Everything is leading you to where you need to be. I don't lose. I don't lose. And you don't either. So have a great day.